All right, so side hustles. Let's talk about them. Specifically for all you graphic designers out there, how about turning your passion into some extra cash? Maybe even a full-time gig if you're really feeling it.
Yeah, that's the dream, right?
But researching freelance platforms can be uh, a little overwhelming, to say the least.
Definitely. There are just so many options out there.
So that's where this deep dive comes in. We're going to take a look at this YouTube video it's called 5 Graphic Design Freelance Job Websites That Pay Well to Work from Home.
Sounds promising.
Right. From the Superhumans Life channel. Basically, we're going to break it down, give you the highlights. You don't have to watch the whole thing.
We'll compare and contrast the platforms, figure out what makes each one unique.
Exactly. And hopefully help you decide which platform might be the best fit for you.
Sounds like a plan.
All right, so first up, we've got Behance. Now, Behance is pretty well known, right?
Yeah, it's a popular spot for inspiration. Lots of designers use it.
Yeah, for sure. But it's also got this whole job board thing going on. Did you know that?
Oh yeah, for sure. I've seen some job postings on there.
Yeah, and there are a lot. Over 2,000 listings, apparently.
Wow, that's a good amount.
It is. And it seems like the type of client on Behance is maybe a little less design savvy, maybe looking for more budget-friendly options.
Makes sense. And that actually makes a great place to start if you're new to freelancing.
How so?
Well, it's super easy to create a profile. You just need a username and password. That's it. And then you can just start applying to jobs. No fees, no complicated setup. It's pretty straightforward.
So ease of entry is a big plus, but I'm guessing there's a catch.
Well, there's always a catch, right? In this case, while making a profile is simple, your profile itself needs to be really, really good.
Ah, okay.
Think of it like your shop window, your first impression.
So it's not just about uploading a few designs and calling it a day.
No, you've got to present your work in a way that's both visually appealing and easy to navigate. Clear categories, good descriptions, a strong About Me section.
So basically sell yourself.
Exactly. You want to show off your style, your personality, what makes you unique.
Got it. So presentation is key. We'll be sure to link some resources for creating awesome Behance profiles in the show notes.
Definitely a good idea. All right, moving on. Let's talk Dribble.
Dribble! Okay, so Dribble is all about the beautiful work, right?
Yeah, high-quality design is kind of their thing.
Like, imagine a client scrolling through Dribble, they see your amazing portfolio, and boom, they hit that Hire Me button.
Love that. That's the dream.
Right. To be discovered just because your work is that good. But is Dribble all about just waiting to be discovered? Or can you actively search for jobs, too?
You can definitely be proactive. They have a whole freelance job board.
Oh, nice.
You can filter by your skills, experience level, even the type of project you're looking for.
So you can really target specific opportunities that fit what you do.
Exactly.
So it's kind of the best of both worlds, being discovered and also going after what you want. But isn't there a fee to access a job board?
Yeah, you'll need to subscribe to their Business Pro plan. It's $15 a month.
$15 a month.
Okay, but you get more than just the job board. You also get to send direct messages to potential clients.
So it's not just browsing, it's about having the tools to connect directly. And hey, if you land even one decent project from it, that monthly fee pays for itself.
Totally. But even if you're not ready to pay, Dribble's still an awesome place for inspiration. And to see what's trending in the design world, stay up to date.
All right, sounds good. So next up is 99 Designs. This one's kind of interesting because it's all about contests, right?
Yeah, it's like a design showdown.
Clients put up a brief, designers compete to win the project.
You get to push your creative limits, see what other designers come up with, and you might even get noticed by clients who wouldn't have found you otherwise.
Yeah, and you can learn a lot from seeing how other designers approach the same brief. Kind of see what works, what the client likes.
Definitely. And 99 Designs has this tiered system for freelancers. You start at entry level with a 15% commission rate, but as you do more projects, get good feedback. You can level up to mid-level, that's 10% commission, and eventually top level, where it's only 5%.
So the more experience you get, the higher your rating, the more money you keep. I like that. But how do you actually level up? What are they looking for specifically?
That's a good question. And to be honest, they're a bit vague about the specifics. They mention design principles, technical skills, client communication, but there's no clear checklist.
Oh, so it's kind of a mystery.
Kind of, yeah. Which can be frustrating, especially if you like clear guidelines.
For sure. But one thing that stood out in the video is they really emphasize client feedback.
Right. Even if you don't win the contest, you can still learn from the client's comments and use that feedback to improve next time.
So it's all about continuous learning. All right, let's move on to Design Hill. Now, this one seems like a massive design hub, right? Like everything you could possibly need.
You got it. Logos, UI, branding, even t-shirts. It's all there.
And they've got a huge global reach. Tons of designers from all over the world.
Over 75,000 designers.
Wow, that's a lot of competition.
It is. And it's open to all experience levels, so it's a good option, whether you're just starting out or you're seasoned pro.
So we're seeing that theme again, lots of platforms catering to a wide range of experience. But with that many designers, you've really got to stand out from the crowd on Design Hill.
Absolutely. Like 99 Designs, you can get hired directly or participate in contests. So you've got to be able to showcase your skills and market yourself effectively.
Right, so it's not just about the design, it's about building that online presence, optimizing your profile, making sure you're visible.
Yeah, all that good stuff. Maybe we should do a whole deep dive just on ranking strategies for platforms like Design Hill sometime.
Ooh, I like that idea. We could really get into how to optimize your profile, get those 5-star reviews.
Yeah, how to make yourself stand out.
Yeah.
Love to put that on the list. All right, last but not least, we have No Desk. Now, this one's a bit different, right? Yeah, No Desk isn't just for designers. It's for all kinds of remote work.
Okay, so a wider range of opportunities.
Right, but they do have a strong design section with jobs at startups and bigger companies, too.
So it's for the designer who maybe wants to branch out, try different things.
Exactly. And what's interesting about No Desk is they keep things really streamlined. You apply directly to jobs via email, no need to create a whole separate profile.
Less admin, more action.
Right. Makes things a little simpler.
Mm.
But it also means your email proposal has to be really strong.
Yeah, you've got to make a good first impression.
Definitely. We'll include some resources on writing great proposals in the show notes.
So we've covered 5 different platforms here, each with its own pros and cons. It's not just about picking one randomly, it's about finding the right fit for you.
Yeah, your experience, your style, your goals, it all plays a part.
Exactly. It's like finding the perfect pair of shoes.
I like that analogy.
Right. You need something comfortable, stylish, that supports you where you need to go.
And sometimes you've got to try a few different pairs before you find the one.
Totally. So before we jump into part 2 of this deep dive, where we'll get into some more strategic stuff like pricing and client management, I'm curious, what stood out to you the most from these platforms?
That's a good question.
Was there one that particularly resonated with you based on your experience or goals?
I think, as we were going through those platforms, I kind of started thinking about how they each seem to attract a slightly different type of freelance designer.
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. It's not just about finding a platform. It's about finding the one that really fits you. Kind of like those dating apps. You got to find one that vibes with you.
Uh-huh, totally. And just like with dating apps, it's okay to be on more than one, right? You could start with Behance, build up your portfolio, then maybe move to Dribbble when you're ready for those higher paying clients. Yeah. And hey, maybe even throw in some 99 Designs contests just for kicks.
So it's about having options, trying things out, seeing what works best for you.
Exactly. And that actually brings us to something the video didn't really get into too much. Pricing. This is huge for freelancers, like make or break.
Oh, yeah. Pricing can be tricky.
You undercharge, you devalue your work, you overcharge, you scare clients away.
It's all about finding that sweet spot.
Right. I did some extra research on pricing strategies for designers, and one thing that really stood out was
tracking your time.
yes, you got to know how long things actually take you so you can estimate accurately.
Otherwise, you're just guessing, and you might end up working for peanuts.
There are some great apps out there to help with time tracking, too.
But it's not just time, right? You've got to factor in your experience, your skills.
For sure. A seasoned designer with a proven track record can charge more than someone just starting out.
Right. You're essentially selling your expertise, and that has value.
Even when you're new, though, you got to value your time. Don't undersell yourself.
Another interesting thing I read was that it's often better to charge per project, not per hour.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that, too.
Because with hourly rates, you're almost penalized for being efficient.
If you can do something quickly, you make less.
Exactly. With per project, you're paid for the value you deliver, regardless of how long it takes.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But that means you got to be good at scoping out projects accurately.
Oh, for sure. Making sure you're accounting for all the tasks, the revisions.
Clear communication with the client is key, right from the start.
Speaking of client communication, let's talk about managing those relationships.
Oh, yeah. This is a big one. It can make or break your freelance career.
It's more than just delivering great designs. It's about clear communication, setting expectations, being professional, reliable, someone clients actually want to work with.
You want to be the designer they rave about, the one they recommend to everyone they know.
So how do we do that? What are some practical tips for managing clients?
Well, the video mentioned responsiveness. Be quick to reply to emails and messages.
Keep them in the loop, even if it's just a quick update.
Right, like, hey, I'm working on those revisions. I'll have them back to you tomorrow. That kind of thing.
Just let them know what's going on.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to ask questions. If something's unclear, just ask. It's better to be upfront than to deliver something the client's not expecting.
Assumptions can lead to problems down the line.
Another tip, set boundaries from the start. Let clients know when you're available, how you prefer to communicate.
So you don't end up working 24/7.
You got to protect your time and energy.
And of course, the basics. Good grammar, respectful communication, all that good stuff.
It's about treating every interaction as an opportunity to build a strong relationship.
Okay, so we've got communication down. Now let's talk about finding your niche.
Oh yeah, this is big. The video kind of skimmed over it, but it's so important.
It's like, how do you stand out in a sea of talented designers?
Right, you got to find what makes you unique, what you're really good at.
And what clients are actually looking for.
So start with yourself. What do you enjoy designing? What are you naturally drawn to?
Think about your skills, your interests, your past experiences.
And then do some research. What's in demand? What are the trends? Where are the gaps you could fill?
Maybe you love designing infographics and you're passionate about sustainability. Boom, you could specialize in infographics for eco-conscious businesses.
Perfect example. It's about finding that sweet spot where your passions and the market needs intersect.
And don't be afraid to experiment, right?
Totally. You might start with one niche and realize another one fits better.
It's all a journey, you figure it out as you go.
Exactly. So we've talked about finding your niche. Now let's talk about your online presence.
Ooh, yeah, that's a big one. The video touched on it, but it deserves a deep dive of its own.
Absolutely. Think of it like your virtual storefront. It's how clients find you, learn about you,
And ultimately decide whether to hire you.
So first things first, you need a professional-looking website.
More than just a page with some designs on it.
Way more. It's your online portfolio. It should be visually appealing, easy to navigate.
And optimized for search engines.
You got to make sure people can actually find you when they're searching for a designer.
And then there's social media.
Instagram, Behance, Dribbble, those are all great for showcasing your work and connecting with people.
It's like networking, but online.
And don't forget about LinkedIn.
Oh yeah, LinkedIn. It's not just for corporate types.
Designers need LinkedIn too. It's a great way to connect with potential clients in a more professional setting.
So build that website, get on social media, start connecting.
And while you're at it, don't forget about content marketing.
Content marketing, what's that all about?
It's about creating valuable content that attracts your target audience.
Okay, like blog posts, tutorials, behind-the-scenes stuff.
Exactly. You're positioning yourself as an expert, building trust with potential clients.
And it helps with SEO, right? Search engines love fresh content.
It's a win-win. You give your audience something valuable, and you boost your online visibility.
So, to recap, a strong online presence means a great website, active social media, and content marketing.
It's an ongoing process, but it's essential for any freelancer these days.
So we've covered a lot of ground here. Finding your niche, building your online presence, managing client relationships. It's all part of the freelance puzzle.
It's about putting yourself out there, honing your skills, and building a sustainable business.
Now, before we move on to part 3, where we'll explore some alternative avenues for finding freelance work.
Oh, this is going to be good.
Let's take a moment to think about.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about those freelance platforms.
Yeah, they're a good starting point for sure.
But let's be real. They could be a bit of a grind sometimes.
You're competing with so many other designers.
Exactly. It's like you're throwing your work out there and hoping for the best.
Crossing your fingers that someone will notice you.
Right. But what if, instead of relying on platforms, you took a more, I don't know, proactive approach?
Proactive. I like it. Like,
Yeah.
become the hunter, not the hunted.
That's the idea. So first things first, direct outreach.
Direct outreach. Okay, what does that mean exactly?
Instead of waiting for clients to find you, you go out and find them.
That makes sense. But how do you even know where to start?
It's all about targeting businesses that align with your style and your niche.
So not just randomly emailing every company you can find.
No, not random at all. Think about it. If you specialize in logos for tech startups, sending your portfolio to a bakery probably won't get you very far.
Right, that makes sense. So do your research, find businesses that could actually use your skills?
Exactly. Look at their website, their social media, their branding in general. Do they even need design help? Does their current branding work for them?
And once you've found some potential targets, what then?
Then you craft a killer email. No generic templates. This needs to be personalized.
Show them you've done your homework.
Right. Highlight specific things you could improve, show them relevant examples from your portfolio, explain how your skills can help them achieve their goals.
So it's about showing your value, not just saying, hey, hire me.
Exactly. And don't get discouraged if you don't hear back right away.
Mm.
Follow up politely. If one business isn't interested, move on to the next.
Okay, direct outreach. Got it. What other proactive strategies are there?
Networking. I know. You mentioned awkward small talk before.
Yeah, not really my thing.
But networking can be so valuable for designers.
Convince me?
The key is to approach it with the right mindset. Think of it as building relationships, not just collecting business cards.
Okay, that sounds a little less scary, but where do you even network?
Honestly, it could be anywhere. Conferences, local meetups, online communities.
So put yourself out there, both online and in person.
Exactly.
Hmm.
And you know what? Sometimes just reaching out to people you admire can be really effective. Send them a message on LinkedIn, comment on their work, introduce yourself at an event.
So build genuine connections, not just try to get clients.
Exactly. Now here's another one, partnering with other creatives.
Oh, interesting. Tell me more.
So let's say you're a graphic designer, but you don't do web development. You could partner with a web developer and offer clients a package deal.
Like, you handle the design, they handle the development.
Exactly. Or maybe you team up with a copywriter and offer a branding package.
So many possibilities.
You leverage each other's strengths, reach a wider audience. It's a win-win for everyone involved.
I love that. Collaboration is key.
Okay, now let's switch gears a bit and talk about passive income.
Passive income. Okay, now you're talking my language.
The dream, right? Making money while you sleep.
Exactly. But how does that work for graphic designers?
Lots of ways. You could create and sell design templates, social media graphics, website layouts.
People are always looking for good templates.
Or how about stock graphics, icons, illustrations, fonts?
Other designers could use those.
Exactly. And don't forget about online courses and workshops.
Share your knowledge, make some money.
It's a great way to reach a wider audience. And the best part about passive income is, once you create something, it can keep making money for you.
Long after you finish working on it.
Exactly. You can sell those digital products on platforms like Creative Market, Etsy, even your own website.
So plant the seeds and watch them grow.
Now, before we wrap things up, any final words of wisdom for aspiring freelance designers out there?
Okay, let me think.
No matter what path you choose, whether it's platforms, direct outreach, networking, passive income, the most important thing is to never stop learning.
The design world is always changing. You got to stay ahead of the curve.
Take courses, read blogs, experiment with new software, get inspired by other designers.
It's all about being a lifelong learner.
And remember, freelance design is more than just a job, it's a creative journey.
So embrace the challenges, celebrate the wins, and most importantly, keep creating.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, that brings us to the end of our deep dive into freelance graphic design.
Hopefully you're feeling inspired and ready to take the leap.
Don't forget to check out the show notes for all the links and resources we mentioned.
We've got you covered.
Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time for another deep dive into something awesome.
See ya.